Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Relax Bro. I have a very special friend with me today. We've known each other, I don't know, our whole lives. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? The camera's right there. I didn't tell you about
Oh,
that. So if you want to look at the camera, you
I
can. You
figured I
don't
knew
have
who it
to.
was.
But
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
watching previous episodes.
Okay, my bad.
Um, I'm Josh King. I just turned 40. I was born February 19th, 1986. I lived the majority of my life in Oildale, and I remember growing up. We've grown up together since Highland Elementary.
Yeah, elementary
you know,
school for sure.
back in the day.
That's fun.
It seems like yesterday, but it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. And we reconnected at the 20th reunion.
Yeah,
But
at Ethel's.
yeah,
Yeah, that was nice.
it turned into like a quick Oildale party, like pretty
Yeah.
fast. But
That was good. Yeah, there's a lot of familiar faces.
it's good to
A
see
lot
a
of
lot.
faces and pictures too.
Yeah,
A lot of people not with us anymore, but yeah, it was a good venue. Good to see familiar faces.
it's
Yeah,
wild to see the
For-
direction that people chose to
yeah,
go.
yeah. And I think before you know it, it'll be the 40th.
What do you- yeah,
But yeah, it was fun to go to. I definitely was looking forward to that prior to. So,
were you?
yeah,
I didn't want to go.
No,
No,
I kinda,
Adam and Ryan made me go. Both of them were saying the same thing to me. I'm like, okay, I'll go. I wasn't really proud of where I was at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I more wanted to see other people, and I'm kind of interested in where people at that I went to school with and stuff like that. So
I'm glad I went.
yeah, it was good. It was good times.
So Standard Elementary or Highland. We went to Highland. I went to
Yeah,
Highland.
I started at Highland. I think I I started a little bit of my first grade year at Hort, and then I think I came to Highland like halfway through first grade. I started at Highland, and then I stayed there
Yeah.
because I was living with my aunt. Well, she's actually my cousin, but she's a lot older than me. So I called her my aunt, but she was actually my mom's niece, my cousin.
I
So
feel those.
I grew up. She raised me the majority of my childhood years. She raised
From that
me.
young.
Yeah, but between her and my dad, I had a weird upbringing. Not a
Mhm.
very stable one. I think it was
Yeah.
most stable when I was with her. Because she
Where was
had
your mom?
Uh, my mom and dad split at a very young age. Um, my mom remarried, and then I didn't stay with her ever. I saw her here and there, every other weekend type stuff, but I mainly lived with my dad. I stayed with him. My sister went with my mom, and my mom remarried, and I didn't care for my stepdad, and he didn't care for any of my mom's kids. Um,
From that
so
early of an age?
yeah, yeah.
Really?
So I stayed with my dad, but when he was in jail, I lived with my we'll call her my aunt. She's really
Yeah.
my cousin, but I
Yeah.
called her my aunt Pam.
Yeah.
My aunt Pam,
All right.
and she was
She seems important.
yeah, she was a big part of my childhood upbringing. And she was she wasn't married. She was married by law, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. She had been with him a long time, so I still called him her husband, even though they weren't formally married. But Al, we called him Big Al, and they raised me a lot, from first grade to even prior to first grade. It was back and forth with
Just
him.
always there.
Yeah, just always the if my dad wasn't stable, they were, and I enjoyed staying with them sometimes.
Do
Depending
you
on
have cousins?
how.
Like little young? Did they have like young?
Oh, did they have any kids?
Yeah.
No, they
No,
didn't.
so
They
you were
never
just
had
with
kids. I don't
them.
know if I want to say maybe she couldn't have kids. I thought maybe that part. I heard that earlier growing up, maybe that she wasn't able to.
So it's almost like you were like,
But he had a kid.
okay,
So Big Al had a son,
I got you.
Alan Jr. and he was about 5 years older than me. So he was a big brother in a sense. Weird, confusing, I know. Probably sounds weird, but
I think it sounds normal. Where
normal Oildale.
Yeah.
Normal family structure in Oildale. You live with your cousin that you call your aunt, and
I had.
you got a brother that
Yeah,
an older
tilt
brother.
that thing up if you want. No, yeah, like from the. I'm really.
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
See?
there you go.
So when I lived with her, it was me and him. He was, 5, 6 years older than me, and it was Big Al and her. They were a couple. They met long before I was born and were together. And then he had obviously he had one son, Alan. That was like a big brother to me. When I lived with them, it was me and him sharing a room, and and then I would live with my dad. So going to Highland Elementary, I was living with them right over here on Bedford, across from Wendy's.
Yeah.
And they lived there. They lived there a long time. So the majority of my Highland years were there. So it was good though.
Did you have Miss Knapp by chance?
I didn't.
No.
I didn't have Miss Knapp. But me and Parker, there was a period where we were really close.
Yeah. That was at Standard?
Yeah. No, that was at Highland.
Really?
That was at Highland. Probably my 3rd grade through 5th grade year, me and him were really close. And then even getting into junior high, middle school, junior high, we were close. But I feel like maybe me and him lost touch a little bit around 7th grade. And I know that when we went into 8th grade, he went into high school.
Yeah.
He jumped a grade.
Yeah.
It's crazy you could do that back then.
It is crazy. I don't know. Well, I mean,
I guess you could still do it now, or I guess maybe it is common nowadays. We just don't hear about it.
Was he that smart?
He was pretty smart.
Was he?
I remember him getting good grades growing up, but I didn't have her, and I Highland Elementary, I was there. I pretty much I lived with them, but they lived right there on Timberwolf, or I know where the house is. I can't remember the name, but
Right across from school.
right by a 7-Eleven on West Day,
Yeah.
that neighborhood just east of. She was awesome.
She was.
I wish I had her. I remember I didn't have her. My 3rd grade teacher, I think, was maybe Miss Thornton or something.
She. I just remember she just cared a little bit about.
She did.
Yeah.
I think she went above and beyond what the normal teacher does, and she always was real friendly, even if you weren't in her class.
Yeah,
I remember her always just joking around and messing around with the kids. You never seemed,
So when did you learn? Like, who got you into skating? It was like when
I didn't really skate in elementary. I think it was when Bryson Kleeman brought a skateboard to school. Remember, it was you brought something to school, or you did something at school to teach somebody something. And he brought a skateboard to school so he could show everyone how to ollie. I think maybe that triggered something in me. I remember that clear as day.
Really? Bryson Kleeman of all people. That's great.
And he was the only guy like that. I remember he's got a skateboard, I think, and he wore like a birdhouse shirt or something. I thought that was kind of cool.
It's weird how that brought all levels of everybody together. It doesn't matter who you were if you were skating.
But skating was huge to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I still skate to this day. I try to get my son skating, and he'll do it for about 10 minutes, and then he.
Did you see my rail? You didn't see my rail?
No. Oh, you have to show me.
Yeah. I build them and I give them away all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude, just go skate.
Yeah. Skating was huge, man, and that's a big part of my childhood. That I remember Joe Jacober's dad always was fabbing up rails.
All the time.
Old Pineapple would just welding away in the backyard, dude. And we would all just be sitting out front,
If you went down that street, you had to turn around the rails because they were just sitting outside all the time.
I still drive by that house all the time to this day. And because that was a big childhood memory of mine too, was that their house,
Yeah.
because Patty always baked cookies and had Cokes, and all the bikes were in the front yard, or all the skateboards. That's where it was.
Yeah, and another person who just didn't care who you were. She didn't
No.
know you.
She
or
didn't care.
It didn't matter.
No, you could live there.
Yeah.
You just like, oh, you're here again. All right,
All right.
you know.
Yeah.
But
Good people.
very good people.
And if it wasn't for those types of people, I keep saying it, like I wouldn't have had a chance in this world.
Oh no, because I mean, I think I stayed at the majority of other people's homes especially when I was with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was with my dad, as much as I love my dad, and the places we had that were my home were shit. They were bad.
Yeah.
We lived in We lived in a half house on Ray.
It's like a back house, like a
Yeah.
Okay.
It was shit.
Yeah.
It was infested with cockroaches. I remember sleeping there. It's midsummer, and I got a blanket over my head because I'm I don't know what's gonna crawl on me. I remember I loved him, but I didn't want to stay there, So where did I stay? I stayed with friends. It sucked, but Joe Jacober. I stayed at Joe Jacober's house. Shit, I was on Ray. He was on Arvin, 200 blocks. So that was just bam. That was I skated over there and I stayed there.
He always had the best 411 videos.
Oh yeah.
He's got fingerboards on deck.
God,
dude.
fingerboards, dude. He's got a whole skate park of tech decks. And then they had that upstairs apartment, and I think
that place is for sale right now.
Sarah and her old man were there, and then Tim, and then his older brother Tim moved up there.
Yeah.
Man, that was good times.
They had a mini ramp there for a minute. Tyler Wolf was living around the corner.
Oh, Tyler Wolf. Yeah, I remember that dude had a full-on half pipe.
Yeah.
We moved down, him and his brother Chris, going and skating there. He's got a half pipe. Like, that was
crazy
unreal.
because like that whole Oildale,
Yeah.
it was just like everybody knew where to find each other. Like,
Oh yeah.
at some point you just would skate to where.
Yeah. And I didn't know Tyler and Chris too much. I don't know who introduced me to them, but once I got introduced to him, it was like, man, this dude's got a half pipe in his backyard. And I remember their dad being a skater.
Yeah.
And like, we were just all there all the time.
Everybody meet up at Standard and skate the rails.
Oh man, the 9 stair.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you hit the 9 stair or even attempted it, you were like, you were doing big things.
People knew who you were.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I see 9 stairs now, and I'm like, I couldn't do it now, but it doesn't look so big now.
I ate crap bad. I busted up my shoulder. I was at the skate park and I tried to do a kickflip up the quarter and come down, and I was in like some Nikes and it just didn't work for me. And I came down, and it'll never be the same. This arm goes numb now.
Oh no!
And so I'm really scared to skate, but I still do it.
I ate shit the other day in my driveway, and I mean there was no. The best I could do was just tuck my arm, and I mean I landed shoulder first, and I don't know how I did not break my shoulder. I must have drank a lot of milk when I was young, because I, knock on wood, as much as I skated and biked, I never broke a bone.
It feels good to be 40 and be able to kickflip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I am. Obviously, I'm in a law enforcement profession, and I used to when I worked near Plans in South Ace. There's a skate park at Plans Park, and I'd wait till like midnight, 1 o'clock when it had a little bit of time, and I'd go out there and skate. There was a time I had a board in my trunk. I just go out there. Kids would be there. Sometimes I'd skate with kids. Sometimes I wouldn't. But it'd get a little slow, and it'd be nice when you have it to yourself, because then no one laughs at you and you eat shit.
I think that's such an important thing, because like whenever me and you were skating in those places, cops.
Oh yeah,
they would beat us up. They would chase us out
downtown.
Steal our boards.
I remember. I felt like when we skated when we were young, downtown was like you didn't go down. If you went downtown, you were getting chased by cops.
Yeah,
and they didn't take it as a You know, they didn't take it lightly.
But skateboarding, like I talk about this, I mean, if you watch the show, you know it's a regular thing. Skateboarding and bikes are a very important thing on the show because it's a way of freedom. It's like a way
Oh
to
yeah,
deal with your pain.
it's
Even
expression.
if you're hurting yourself, it's like better than being hurt by watching
Exactly.
your mom get beat up. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
And so like we dealt with having to deal with our pain in a certain way, and then
Yeah.
still then we have to deal with like be people like, no, you're not allowed to deal with
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
You
And
can't
so
do this, and then you're not gonna tell me what I can't do. You
yeah,
know.
and so I think it's like important, like people like you, like, and that's I'm just saying right now, I'm very thankful for you, like coming on and spending
Oh,
time,
I'm
dude.
glad you had me.
I think
No,
it's
I was totally looking forward to it. I was like, man, there ain't enough time in the world to go over everything.
that's why there's only a part one, part two.
Yeah.
This is only
Oh,
the
I'll be
beginning,
back.
dude.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think it's really important, like that people like you have stepped up to be in a position where you're at, where you're taking responsibility, like who you are. You use to what you've because in most occasions, people who grew up in your situation would take the easy route to be selfless or selfish and be like, I just don't want to feel this way. But now you're giving back in a way
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that we didn't know how to do. You know
Oh
what I mean?
no. And it wasn't shown. You know, it wasn't shown to us back then. You know, I mean, maybe to some people, but I don't know. It's
So what happened in between, like after high school? Like where did
what led me to.
No, I'm
Or I
just
mean,
curious where you're at because like like middle school, we're skating. You
middle school. I mean, that was the best times of my life.
yeah.
Middle school was awesome. You didn't have a care in the world.
You're still living with your aunt,
Um, I
friends.
lived with her, so Highland. I was staying with her on Bedford, 300 block, right by Wendy's.
That's where the bike jumps were too.
And then my dad got the half house to, I think it was 211 and a half Ray Street. Um, the half house he stayed in, he had for probably almost 3 years. And I stayed with him there a lot of the time, but a lot of the time I hated it. I hated that fucking place.
Because of bugs
The
and stuff.
fucking
Yeah.
bugs.
Yeah.
There was a dude that we rented it from. He rented it from. The dude that lived in the front is who he rented the back house from.
Was your dad on drugs?
He not dependent. You know, he was functioning, but I think he was messing around. You know,
Okay.
he was doing meth and stuff, but he had a job. So, and I mean, it was minimal drug use for him. I think he got popped by the cops a few times with dope
Yeah.
and went to Laredo for 6 months, you know, or whatever.
You were never like
But
dealt with like this.
I never like he was never shooting up in front of me and
Yeah.
and selling my fucking Nintendo to get a
That
get a
happens a
fix.
lot,
It does
man.
happen a lot. He wasn't that. I'll give him that. And my dad he'd spend every last dollar to buy me whatever shoes I wanted. You know, he was that dad.
Yeah.
But he just didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know? So he was working. He had a lot of he was working, living there. I was living with my aunt. When I hated it and I got tired of fucking shit crawling all over me, I'd go stay with my aunt for a month at a time. And a lot of the time she was nearby. You know, she was up on Bedford for a while, and then she they moved over to Highland, 400 block of Highland Drive, and they stayed there in that house the majority of the beginning of my junior year, or the beginning of middle school, when I went into 6th grade. They probably got that house when I was in 5th or 6th grade. I think it was like 433 Highland or something. And then they stayed there until they lost it, and I don't know. They stayed there until I graduated high school, and afterwards, that same house, and I grew up there in that house. I lived with them throughout junior high, a lot of high school in that house. And in the meantime, my dad eventually got a good enough job to where he he bought a front house on Ray, 2 houses down from the back house we stayed in. So, and that was like, he was talking to the lady that lived there, and she was moving to the beach or something, and she planned on renting it out, and she knew that we lived a few houses down in a shack, so he got in cahoots with her, and we ended up renting that house, and he probably started renting that house when I was in junior high, because I remember 7th grade, 8th grade, we were there, and then but still there was times where it was bad, and he'd get locked up or something, and I go stay with my aunt, and so. But once he got that front house away from that shack, I stayed with him a lot more. But then he lost it, and then I went back to Highland Drive with my aunt. So I was all over. It was bounced around between my dad and my aunt, because he was in jail a lot, and
It's probably why we were able to like spend so much time together when we were kids, because like I didn't really have any, and so like we just skate until you had to
yeah,
figure out where to sleep.
it's like, oh shit, it's dark out.
It's dark.
I'm
We gotta
hungry.
go. Yeah.
I know Joe Jacober's mom's probably got food and that, and they're always feeding all of us heathens. So,
That's crazy. Oilo's just a big community.
it is. And despite all that bouncing around, and there was times where I was with my dad, and it was we were eating pancakes 4 or 5 nights in a row, because pancake mix is all he had. But I had a good childhood. I had a great childhood. I wouldn't change it if
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, maybe
It
there's certain
sucked.
tweaks I would make.
Yeah, our home life was rough, but like when we left the house, we had the freedom to
Yeah.
go ride bikes, skate, do stuff that most kids can't do nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there was always good families. I had a lot of I had a variety of friends from up by Highland Elementary, all scattered throughout, and they were all good family friends. I ran around with Mike Chambers for a while, and elementary, and later on in high school, and his mom and dad were, opened their home to me, and just, you always had that house where, they were taking kids in, letting you hang out, and
Yeah,
it was
that's
good.
a busy house.
Yeah.
It was just like Derek Chu's house.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a stint with Derek. I
Yeah.
remember that was fun times too. Don and Donnie,
Yeah.
they were, man, and Carlos and Anthony were, they raised them.
Man, I got a history with Carlos. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
He's
Rest in
not-
peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Carlos. He's not here. Man, I used to listen to Tupac albums over and over with Carlos. Man, he was a funny dude.
Yeah, he was. He had
He
a
was.
pretty smile.
He did.
Perfect eyebrows.
Yeah.
He was
His
just,
brother too, Anthony,
yeah,
was awesome.
Yeah, he just man, the drugs, the pills, they just
Yeah.
get a hold of you. And
I remember Anthony, man. He was like, I don't know. He had something about him that I just looked up to.
yeah,
Hanging out at Derek's house, and
they all kind of did. They just had like parents. That,
yeah,
you know
it was
what
like
I mean?
structured.
Yeah,
It was like, man, this is what it's like to have
they're
some
out there-
sort of normalcy.
Yeah, they're out there doing stuff, and
Yeah,
we're
and
out
it's
there
like-
trying to find where we're gonna eat.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it's crazy.
like Derek's getting money from his mom, and we're gonna go, go hang out at the marketplace, and
Yeah,
those were good times. Those were
yeah,
awesome, and especially when like him and Devin started getting into the trucks, and
mm-hmm.
I remember Devin had a badass lower truck, and I just remember it had the fucking baddest system in it. and he would take me and Derek to the marketplace. Like, and back in the day, the marketplace was fucking popping. Like,
Yeah, you went there.
you were at a standstill. If you were like driving through, it was like LA traffic,
Oh yeah,
and you were just like
people walking
the
through.
they had the
everywhere.
lowest
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
trucks there with the loudest fucking radios, and it was like he would drive us through there, and then
Because that movie theater just opened up. Maybe you think
Edwards.
that was what it was, and
I
it
don't
was
know. I don't know
because it just stayed
how
busy.
new was Edwards. I don't. I live right by there now.
They had the fountain.
They did have. They don't have the fountain anymore.
I heard. Yeah, I heard. I haven't been
Sucks. It's
out
all
there.
fucking grass.
Dude, what is going on? What the
It's like,
heck
why
is
can't you
going
just? How it can't be expensive to have a fucking fountain.
I don't think that's it. I think that everybody's scared of being sued by somebody.
I don't know. Because when I moved over there, the fountain was still there.
Yeah.
You know. But I remember, man, that I drive like my daughter to go hang out there occasionally. She hasn't in a while. She's too busy to now with sports, but maybe in the summertime I'd cruise her over there, go pick her up, and I was like, man, I tell her like when I used to come here when I was like early high school, because I feel like I really didn't go there a whole lot except with Derek when I had that, those few years where I was hanging out with Derek a lot,
Yeah.
like in Scott Tootle and stuff, and we were getting into trucks and driving. Like I didn't have a truck, but like that was the place to be.
Yeah.
It was.
You were learning something, whether it was about fighting or
Oh yeah.
just being around bigger people. Just
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was just. I think me and Derek were going out there to hang out with girls and stuff. Having fun, chasing girls, and just living life. It was fun.
so. Whenever you got out of high school, did you start working, or did you go straight into?
Yeah, my first job out of high school was
Hold on,
right-
hold on. I jumped a step because before you were what, a junior when you got your first tattoo?
I think I was a senior.
Yeah, I remember you were just
I think that because I got it the night of senior awards, and I only got an award because it was like football or some shit.
yeah, and so that's where you
So
because you were like a Delian like us, but you were hanging out with all the football.
yeah, so that
guys.
I got like towards when I played football, I hung out a lot of the times with the football guys because they're your team. But I knew Chambers and Henderson. I grew up with those guys since Highland,
Mhm.
and just playing football, I reconnected with them a lot, and started partying with them a lot, and so a lot of my junior senior year was hanging out with Chambers and Henderson and stuff like that, and then yeah, I think I was a senior when I got that. I think it was the awards ceremony night. I went and got it right before that.
Did you get it out? Did you get it in a field or?
Oh no.
No?
I got it at a fucking house behind Woody's Liquor
Okay.
for $40, which
It
is a
came
lot
out
of money
pretty
back
good.
then. Yeah, fucking Swazi Mike did it, and he did it in it was probably his old lady's kitchen. But I just remember that his girlfriend was cooking dinner, and Chambers. I don't even know how Chambers got acquainted with Swazi Mike. Maybe I don't even know.
He was in everybody's house that was doing drugs at that
Yeah.
night,
And I just remember Chambers telling me, "Hey, I got this guy fucking does tattoos, and I think he does them pretty cheap." And I was like, "Fuck it," I don't know how I got the $40, but I went down there and I gave him the Pennywise Full Circle album CD cover book and said, "That's what I want on my back, black and red." And he's like, "All right," and he did it. I took my shirt off and he blasted me at his old lady's dinner table right before they were, about to eat dinner, and it was 30 minutes and I was out.
You still listen to Pennywise?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's the best band on this earth.
Yeah.
I still catch it. I've seen them countless times. The last time I seen them was probably 2 years ago. I'm due for another show. I
Yeah.
got to see them at least every other year. It's like my therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still jam.
Oh, I know.
Oh, they still fucking jam.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't. The new singer kind of throws me off a little bit.
Well, they changed. They're back to their old selves.
Are they?
Yeah, they did. Jim Lindbergh left and started doing his own thing for a little bit, and they got a guy. They brought.
He was still good. I'm not.
Yeah, they brought a new. There's some songs on that album that
It
aren't bad.
just,
It's just not original.
Yeah, just not as doesn't have
Yeah.
his.
So they did about 2 years, and I think they put out one studio album with a new singer. But now
Yeah.
they're back to Jim's back.
Nice.
He's back to doing his thing. So yeah.
We're gonna have to go skate eventually.
Oh God, yeah.
Man, it's wild. Like hearing Swazi Mike because like all I hear is it in my mom's voice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I remember like him like tattooing people on the back steps of the Delian houses.
yeah.
You know what I mean on Hughes Street, and I'm just like, it's just crazy to hear those words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like so, like I'm afraid to say this word because I know you'll probably know him, but James Spoon
James Spoon.
does that somehow
Yeah,
It
that rings
does.
a bell.
the dude rode a bike, badass.
Was he our age?
No, he was a little bit older than us.
Yeah, I don't know why I think he. I don't know where I heard his name from.
He used to have a badass race bike. And
But
he
I
would
think
hang
I
out with
heard
all the
about his
moms.
recently, and when I mean say recently, I mean like maybe the last 15 years. I think I've heard him being associated with some guys I know. But yeah, the name definitely rings a bell.
Weird, huh?
James Spoon.
James
Yeah.
Wildo's so small.
Oh
dude.
God. Or yeah, some other. There was some crazy dudes on bikes. Biking. I mean, I wasn't hard. I didn't get into biking as far like I did get into skating, but
Yeah.
I definitely had my share of biking. I wasn't very savvy on a bike as I was on a board. I rode bikes.
Yeah.
I remember that it's not there anymore. By North High, there was that dirt lot by the library. I remember lighting that fucking thing on fire and jumping it. Andy Norman. It was Andy Norman's idea. He was there and was like, we were jumping it over and over, you know. And he's like, let's fucking light it on fire. And we fucking threw a bunch of shit in the middle and fucking lit it on fire. And we're sitting there jumping that thing through fucking fire.
A lot of stuff went down at that library.
And we were there doing that for about an hour or two. And I don't ever remember one fucking cop coming by.
Yeah, if you did it nowadays, bro, you're going to prison for like terrorists.
Oh my God. Just a fucking flame 10 feet tall. And we're just jumping our bikes through it.
So you went into work. What was
Oh, so after high school, my first job was fucking digging pools. Yeah, it was the Everlasting Pool. They were the builders. That was a contractor. And the guy that owned it, he did everything. He had a plumbing crew, a digging crew, a rebar crew, and this fucking older dude that did the electrical. So he kind of did most of it besides the gunite and all that. So I was on the plumbing crew, and that was my first job. The first job where I actually got a paycheck, you know, with my name on it. And I stayed with them for 2 or 3 years. And then I was like, fuck this. It's too hot doing this shit, plumbing pools and digging, you know. And
how old were you?
I was 18, 19, 20. Probably a good 2 years I did that job. And then I bought my first car.
What was it?
It was a Honda Civic. It was Mike Chambers' older sister's clunker that she got rid of that I bought. It had a 12-inch woofer in the back. And that was the
Nice.
best fucking thing on it. I was so happy.
Were you racing it?
Oh my God. It had an exhaust on it. It had a modified exhaust. Sounded like fucking rice burner with
I didn't do
a
the
12-inch MTX fucking subwoofer in the back. Oh my gosh,
biggest regret of
I
my
was
life
living life.
is
Fucking-
not doing the Honda thing.
That's all I had. That was like, it got me from A to B. And
Did you ever stay in it?
no, hell no. I burned that thing up in like 6 months.
Really?
Yeah, I fucking
Just-
blew the head gasket, and then I was like,
Full
"Yeah,
throttle
get
the
rid
whole
of this." Yeah,
What color was it?
it was like a gray.
That's
gray.
so fun.
Yeah, it was. That's all. I mean, it was a car,
Yeah.
I just wanted to drive. I didn't care what it was. But I blew that up, and then I, my mom was working for Neighbors Drilling. She was an office manager for Neighbors ever since they were Laughlin, when they were Laughlin brothers. She was there, and then so she said, "Hey, Neighbors is hiring." And I was like, well, that's good money. So I went out and started roughnecking. And I feel like every kid needs to go out and roughneck for their first fucking year out of high school, just to teach them because that taught me a lot.
Teach you how to talk shit and not be
Teach you how to
Crap.
talk shit. Teach you
Yeah.
how to take some shit talk.
some shit.
Because I took some fucking verbal abuse in my first
Yeah.
year and a half there, and I mean they did not like me.
I would get butt hurt and I wouldn't stick with it. You know.
I was on a crew that was they were all 4 Hispanic dudes out of Early Mart, all fucking gangsters, and the only white dude on my crew was this old man. He was a driller, and he was this old fucking biker dude, and they fucking treated me like shit, and they treated me extra shitty because I wasn't the fucking trainee on the crew. I was the second floor hand. They shit canned 1 floor hand. There's 2 floor hands, a motor hand, a derrick man, and a driller. And I was
like you jumped and got
I jumped into not trainee wages. Hey, sit back and we'll show and pay attention. I jumped into, hey, like, we're running slow because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like you're supposed to be the 5th man and you're not. Because you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So that adjustment was hard. And the only dude that really didn't treat me fully like shit was the derrick hand. Because he had to give me, because I paid him gas money to pick me up. Because I didn't have a car, I blew it up. So I paid him, and he probably fucking charged me double. Because I'm some fucking worm that doesn't know what he's doing. So I'm fucking paying him probably, I don't even know how much I gave him, but I knew I was giving him a lot of money to pick me up, drop me off. And he'd pick me up and then he'd say, "You're driving, I'm sleeping." That's how it was. But man, the first 2 years was rough.
Yeah.
I told my mom I fucking quit. I don't want to do this shit anymore. And she's like,
You staying with your mom?
was I at the time?
Yeah.
No, I was staying with my sister.
You still talk to your mom the whole time though?
During that time?
During all of it.
Yeah, I always kept a relationship with her. I mean, it wasn't.
It was just like.
Was
not
it
a living
genuine?
type
No.
of thing. What does
But
that mean?
I mean,
it was like.
I did it more or less to appease her, or to make her. I felt a little bit maybe like I owed her something in terms of because she got me the job.
Gotcha.
But I needed her when I was young. And I needed her when
I think even when
I
we
was
don't,
younger
we kinda
and when
do.
she wasn't there, I needed her at a different time. I didn't need her then
Yeah.
or now. But I still, to this day, I give her that relationship. I'll call her. Maybe I don't call her as much as she like, but she's my mom.
Is there tension?
I mean, is there.
Is there remorse because like she wasn't there? Because I have a lot of that.
Yeah, I have there. If you're
I carry a lot of that.
I have a lot of I needed my mom when she wasn't there for me.
Yeah, I agree.
And do I hold stuff against her? Maybe some feelings deep down.
For me, it's just jealousy. Like I'm jealous of the time that I didn't.
But maybe that is what it is for me.
Yeah,
Because I really can't put a label on it, but I feel like maybe that is when I needed her. You know,
but this is
I
what I.
needed her. I was in a fucking shack with my dad, and
This is what I
I wanted
say.
to be at the nice home with her, where my sister was,
Yeah.
my stepdad, but my stepdad didn't. He didn't want me there. You know.
And you felt that, like you.
Oh hell yeah, I felt that. Because I even when I was young, I go spend time with her. You know, we'd play the whole fucking weekend, every other weekend bullshit. You know, and I go over there on a Friday, and she'd pick me up, and you know, when I was there, my stepdad treated me like shit. You know, he treated if he was gone, I loved it. If he was working late, I loved it. When he was in that fucking house, it was.
But did she act
I was
different?
there because I had to be.
She act different around him than she was.
Oh, absolutely. He brainwashed her. You know, and a lot of my family will say that my mom was different before she met him.
Was it a money thing?
I don't know. Maybe. And back then, he made good money. He was a welder. He welded his whole life.
I don't make good money. I'm a welder. I've been welding my whole life.
Yeah,
I don't know how those guys.
Looking back, it seemed like he made good money. I mean, you know, the house that him and her had was always nice. Was always a nice one, far nicer than what I had. In my time with them, money wasn't ever an issue.
Is it? Do you feel like almost like you're like running out of time, and then it's almost like you it's bothering you that all that time's slipping away while you still have the chance?
Well, I take that back. I'm at a time now where I don't need my mom.
You want her? No. Oh.
No, I don't want her. I got my wife and my kids and my dad and my aunt Pam. Those are the most important people in my life.
Which is exactly what I was just trying to say. It's weird that we get jealous about the people that we get jealous about, because if it wasn't for people like my aunts and people like Ryan's mom or Joe's mom, I think those are important people. And like just like you said, like those are our family, you know what I mean? It's almost like just like that real recognizes real type thing. Like,
yeah,
it's weird. And it's
100%.
And it's weird how, I mean, more often than not, we're all somehow connected in some weird lineage, how or another. I don't know. I find that really interesting.
Yeah, I think so too. I love her, you know, but I don't need her, or I don't even necessarily want to be around her. I don't not want to be around her, but I don't, you know, I look forward to seeing my kids after I leave here today, going home, and I look forward to this evening because I'm going to see my wife and kids, and I'm going to spend time with them, and and have good quality time with them. I'm not sad that I don't see my mom ever, and I call her, you know, once every couple of weeks. I might talk to her and say, "How you doing?" But, you know, I don't need her. I mean, do I wish I had a mom that I was more close to? Absolutely. But I don't have, life's too, I mean, you know, I can't be mad about that anymore. she wants to be in my life, she'll come in my life, and I don't block her out of my life. She wants to see my kids. She's got 3 beautiful grandkids from me.
So I get so what I'm sensing is like it's not that you want it, but
I'm
you're
over
just
that.
you're just done
Yeah,
begging.
I needed that, and I wanted that when I was young,
Yeah. And so
and
now where
and
we're gonna go
and
and
yeah,
move on, and if you want to be part of it, you
I'm
will.
moving on with or without her.
Yeah.
You wanna get on the you wanna enjoy the ride. We'll get
Yeah.
on the ride, but the ride's leaving.
Yeah.
Or it's not leaving, but the ride's in motion.
Yeah.
And if you
You're
don't,
gonna be
you're gonna
riding
miss it.
alone.
Yeah, she did.
Gotcha. Do you think so? It's crazy because like I want to give grace where it's due, but at some point, in, like, yeah, we all have our own lives and we all have our own things, but there's these priorities where we make these decisions where this is more important than what I care about at this moment. And so is that like I don't know if that's like a cloud. I mean, because I deal with that same thing. It's like I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I read the Bible, whatever. I can't ignore the way that the world is right now, and it honestly makes me nervous. And so I'm like, in my head, I'm like, our team needs to get like something together and go and plan ahead. But then it's like nobody. It's like they're so worried about their dogs. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude,
some shit that's not important.
yeah, and it's like so just like at this point we're like gonna have to make this decision just like you said like I have to go, and if you want to be part of what I have building,
Yeah,
you can be part of that, but if you're not, then like somebody else has to be part of it, you know what I mean? And
yeah. I've tried, and you know, I've included her and stuff, and they moved away, they came back, they moved, they traveled, and it's like I hope that when I'm my mom, I hope when I'm of that age, I'm heavily involved with my grandkids. Um, I just family for my mom. I don't. It doesn't seem like a priority for her. And even when I was growing up, she wasn't very maternal. It wasn't. It was. It. Yeah, it's hard to explain, I guess. I didn't get that love from her that I got from my dad. My dad wanted me to feel his love. He wanted me to know that he loved me and that he would fucking do anything. Whether it's spending the last dollar he had on some fucking Vans that I wanted or a new skateboard deck because I broke my last one, you know. But for my mom, it just seemed like it was just going through the motions for her. She was just, doing what she thought a mom had to do, instead of being genuinely in the moment.
yeah.
But I got that from my aunt. She loved me. She showed me what love was. She made me feel loved. You know, um, and if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have a lot of the characteristics I do now today from her. Because of her. You know, she has she's very strong as far as family and stuff like that. So I think I got her living in her house and her upbringing when I lived with her.
Type of people would buy you like stuff for Christmas and
Yeah,
just to make you feel included.
right. Or just even if it's just being on time to something,
Yeah.
or just sticking to their word. So for me, it wasn't always about like, I didn't need shit. I
Yeah.
didn't need a fucking present or whatever. How about you just pick me up on time when you say you are? How about I come see you on the weekend when it's your fucking weekend, and you said you were gonna pick me up for the weekend, but it is what it is. I try not to carry it too much with me. It definitely is. contributed to a lot of baggage in my life, but I try not to think about it a whole lot.
It clearly has led you to where you're at now. Because I mean, just being with you now, I could just feel like I could just feel you just care about the kids.
Yeah.
So you left doing pools. You went into the oil fields, and we started talking about talking shit. And
Oh, yeah.
off the air, we had mentioned a person that you like listening to, and I thought we would bring that up for a second.
Oh yeah, Davey. Yeah. I gotta keep up on his new episodes
Because
he's a funny guy.
he's rough for
He
some
is.
reason.
He's real. He's real as it gets.
And so
That's what I like about Davey.
he was a hard person to be around growing
Yeah.
up because that dude knew how to talk.
He was a
some
scary
shit.
guy, dude. I won't lie. It was always like, do I want to go skate with Davey? Because fuck, he'll kick my ass. Or
You don't land a kickflip. He's not gonna
fuck me up. He won't leave me alone. He's gonna fucking hit me with something, throw something at me, chase me home.
You know who I was used to be afraid of is Tyler Underwood. For some reason,
man.
he had this. He would come and just run into you for some
Yeah.
reason, like a goat, and just knock you down.
Yeah. I seen him about a year ago. Yeah, I've seen him in better days, but
It's wild.
he's still around.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Davey lived right by Zorba's, huh?
Yeah, his parents on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the parking lot.
Yeah, right next door. It was like, fuck, man, I don't want Zorba's so bad, but fuck, is Davey out? Is he out and about?
He's sitting there trying to pull his pants up in the front yard. All right, so you leave the oil fields, and where we go?
What did I do? So I'm in the oil fields for 4 or 5 years, and then my mom says all the contracts are drying up.
She was able to tell you and warn you.
Yeah, she gave me a heads. She said,
Damn.
"Hey, you're going to be out of a job in about 6-9 months. There's only one more well after the one you guys are finishing up, and then it's in limbo." So, she said you can go to North. That's slowly when the North Dakota boom hit,
Yeah.
and I wasn't about going.
I
to
have
North
cousins
Dakota.
out there right now.
Fucking no, I got buddies that did it, and I'm not doing that. Plus, I started dating my wife now. I met her, I met her and started dating her, and I didn't want to go to North Dakota.
How old were you?
I was 22-ish, 23-ish.
Where'd you meet her at?
I met her at through Mike Chambers. I met her because Chambers' mom was waitressing at Naughty Pine, and Naughty Pine always had these little hottie girls that would come and do seasonal waitressing when they were down from college or whatever, and she was really the only one that did that, I think. She was coming down. My wife she was coming down from UCLA, from college, and waitressing at the Naughty Pine. And so one day, Chambers, we were at a party, and he was telling me about her. I think we were going to go meet her or something, take her to another party. And he said, yeah, he was telling me that he was into this girl that worked with his mom. And then that's how we met. And then I kind of just took her from him.
That's funny.
She said, I don't like him, I like you. So one day we were at his house. To this day, his sister owns it, right next door to Highland Elementary. We were on the front porch, and I think that's when we kind of just knew, like, we like each other. So that was at the end of my short oil field career, and that's how I knew, like, man, I don't want to go to North Dakota. She's coming home from L.A. She's coming up from L.A. every weekend.
That's what I was gonna get at. She's just driving up here just to work there.
She was going to school. Well, she's a native. Her mom worked there. Her
gotcha.
mom had worked at Naughty Pine,
But she went to school down there.
but she was going to UCLA.
Gotcha.
So she was coming up on the weekends, I go down there. I drive down there and pick her up to bring her home on the
Really?
weekends. Drive her back home. Yeah.
Jeez.
So,
In
and
the
I didn't want.
Civic?
No, I didn't have that Civic then. I had another truck, a little GMC Sierra that I wrecked probably fucking 4 times. I took that thing through the fucking ringer. Man. Jesus. But she had a little Acura, and she was just zooming up and down, just coming up here on the weekends. And I was living with my sister. Life was good. We were dating. I remember fucking I asked her out, "Hey, you want to be my girl?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then next thing you know, she graduates, and she comes back home. And then oil fields dried up. I didn't want to go to North Dakota, so I started working for another buddy here doing like heavy construction, like plant shutdowns, running around doing turnarounds, just like a grunt welder's helper. And then I landed a job at Plains LPG in Shafter. They had a shutdown, a month shutdown. We went and worked, and they kept me there afterwards. And then they were like, "Hey, you want a full-time job, benefits, company, pay and all that?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" So then I switched over, got hired on there.
What stopped you from getting into drugs? It was relevant throughout.
That's a good question. I don't know if I've ever been asked that because it's heavy in my family.
Yeah. It's
My-
heavy in
My
just
mom's
your environment.
my mom's brothers got busted in Lake Isabella with my younger cousin. They had a meth lab down right on the river. All my uncles are dead from meth. My dad got into it a little bit, not too much. It was more on my mom's side. I think I was. I don't really, I don't know. I might think about that and then come back to it
That's fine.
because I played I smoked weed and did the whole like trying it out and shit. I just never really got into that stuff in terms of some of those guys do it once and they're addicted,
Yeah.
And I think it was maybe more like I got to take care of myself. I was living with my sister, but I knew like eventually I'm going to have to get my own place. Like I'm going to have to be the one to feed myself, So I don't know if it was just, I don't know. I really don't. Like maybe not wanting to give it the opportunity to take over my life.
Oh, that's a good answer.
I drank a lot. I partied a lot when I was younger, but I always knew like, hey, no one's going to put food in my mouth besides me.
Just the fear of it taking over.
Because my dad, he's here and there, locked up, not locked up. He moved away. And I didn't really have I don't know. Because I was around it a lot, man. When I was living with my aunt and Big Al, they were bikers. They smoked a lot of weed. I remember that was in my house when I was younger, and that was normal. Marijuana smoke, seeing the bongs laying around in their room, and that was normal.
On the coffee table.
Growing up, that was
Yeah.
normal. It was
Yeah.
like fucking coffee.
Yeah.
But they were functional. They held jobs.
Yeah.
They came home. I remember it was an evening thing for them, but I don't know how it didn't take over in terms of like destroying, taking over my life and destroying me.
It's an interesting thing.
It is.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
Because there's a lot of people that I can name that it has fucking destroyed them, or
Yeah.
if not taken their life.
Even the ones that it hasn't destroyed, it's still like one of like a relevant thing, and
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean. And it's a crazy thing to think about.
Yeah, because oil deals fucking in the dump. It's sad. I drove up Chester the other day. I was coming to work on a Saturday. I just came through Chester because I had to go downtown, and I was like, so many people on the street, just coming up Roberts Lane, coming up Chester to Roberts Lane, and drive like God. It is sad and it's wild.
I try to interview a lot of those people. I'll go and I'll try to just be with them and just figure out what happened.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of them are way younger than me, and that's what scares me. And it's like almost like that drug age where you avoided, like those people had kids and most of them, like the parents died off or just found their own ways and didn't
Yeah.
have, and so these kids are just left with no understanding or no nothing because we spent time skating on the streets, and it's almost like we'd rather be there
Oh
than in our own, in these homes where we feel like we're not welcome or not wanted. You know what I mean?
Or
And so
there's
it's
not.
like,
It's not normal.
yeah,
To,
it doesn't feel right. It's
Yeah.
like it's more comfortable to sleep on the 7 stair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna wake up
Or
and
skate
kickflip
till
this thing
fucking 3 in the morning. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do it one way or the other. But yeah, it was sad. I was like, fuck, man. I don't remember it being like that when we were skating. I don't remember so many. I don't remember.
It's because we were those people. It's because we were
Yeah.
those people.
I don't remember the junkies on the street.
We were those junkies. We were the ones getting chased out. Get out of here.
Get the fuck. Yeah, I know,
I gotta
right?
bury somebody tomorrow. Get out of here.
Yeah, chased out of Standard. I think I slept. I stayed the night at Standard in Standard Park more times than I could count. Just because I didn't want to go home, whatever. But
So
I don't
you're
know
at
where we're
Plains. You're at Plains. I got you sidetracked. I'm gonna keep doing
Oh
that for
yeah.
days.
I mean, I get an in-house job at Plains. Me and the wife have our own apartment. No, we moved back in with her mom for about 9 months while I'm working at Plains. We stay with her mom, lived there about a year. That way we could save up for an apartment and some rent, and then we get our own apartment. And I'm working at Plains, operating equipment and stuff. And life's good. It's just me and her, no, we don't have kids yet. Was that? I think that's like 2007 is probably when I got that job at Plains. 2007 to 2014, I think, is when I left there. So I was there for a while. It was a good job. It got routine. It got too routine to. I worked with about 6 other guys, and I got bored with it, I guess. I was young and I thought I wanted more, but really, looking back, I'm like, I don't think I wanted more.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, in the moment I wanted more, but
Oh, that's interesting.
sometimes I'm like, well, it's not they packaged everyone out now, but the place is still there.
Yeah. I still see the trucks.
Yeah, they still got those big old.
I had a cousin who weld inspected with them for a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always had inspectors come in because they were always expanding. But it was good. It was a good job.
Paid you probably
paid
great.
good. You got bonuses, and
Yeah.
it was Monday through Friday, and but I got bored with it. And a buddy of mine's like, "Hey, BPD's hiring," and I'm like, "I don't know. I never thought about becoming a cop." And then I went on.
Is that the buddy I'm thinking of?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I got it was a coworker's brother who was already working there, and he had said, "Hey, we're hiring. You want to do a ride along?" So I did a ride along, and I was like, "Yeah, I can do this and get paid for it," And then next thing you know, I'm in a paid academy, just becoming a cop. Didn't grow up. Last thing on earth I wanted to do growing up, but here I am, like
What
And
made you what, so your wife, like, you should do it? Did she
no, no,
encourage
no.
you?
She didn't encourage.
You were just like,
I kind of did it behind her back as far as applying.
"Mhm."
Um, she knew. I think she knew I wanted a career change, or I just wanted something else.
You didn't wanna be like, "I'm gonna be this kinda cop, I'm gonna go be a beat cop." You didn't have any
Oh
sense.
hell no! I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I just was like, you know what? It's a paycheck. I knew that I knew I wanted to.
And you being the lack of drugs, it's like a perfect thing.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to. I mean, I knew I wanted to do something different every day,
Yeah.
and I wanted the excitement, and but I didn't go. I wasn't going into it like this. I'm gonna do. I want to be a SWAT operator, or I want to, do traffic stuff, or I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew that it was an exciting career, and every day was different. So, and it paid relatively well. So I did it. I went through the academy, became a cop. That was 2014. That I became a cop, and I was there about 10 years. And at the time, my wife is. At the time, we had our first daughter. My oldest Tatum was born, and she was 3 or 4 when I went to the academy, and then we had bought our first house in Rosedale, and I was a cop for about 10 years.
What did you you're just a beat cop? What
Yeah, so I just went on a patrol. I just patrolled the east side. I patrolled the west side a little bit. Every 6 months, you'd rotating shift, and you'd request a certain area. So I was on the east side the majority of it. I
what you
don't
what
know
did
if
you deal with out there? Like is it different when you
yeah.
started from like what it is now? Like
Yeah, I mean it was violent and busy when I started. It's still violent and busy now. The east side's it's just Bakersfield's a violent town.
you still do with that stuff without like because you do high school
No,
now.
so my wife so when I became a cop, my wife when she came back from college, she got into the courts and she was working in family law. Um while I was, in our young careers, and then she ended up eventually getting her teaching credential. Uh, she started teaching English at Norris Middle, right there on Snow. We lived 2 minutes away. Um, and then, I got into law enforcement. She started teaching at the high schools. She went to Highland High School after a few years at Norris, and then now she's an administrator for Kern High, and she was telling me for a while, or kind of putting it in my head, like, hey, you should come to the schools. They have their own department, and I was like, yeah, schools, like, no, I don't want to work with kids. I avoided kids when I was on patrol, because you don't want to work with kids,
Because the emotions or
I think it's just all aspects. They're kids, they're young. You arrest them. What do you take them to juvenile hall? If it's heinous enough, usually you just take them home and
so
release them to the
100% the
parents.
emotions.
So yeah, it's like
You're just
man, this is too much of a headache.
Yeah.
Too much paperwork, and there's too many like chains of custody, and it's just
situations and scenarios are different.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
So I was like, no, I don't want to do that, and then I was having fun at the city. I was doing a lot. I was on patrol, and then I eventually became a canine handler. I had a dog.
That's got to be the best thing ever, dude.
Yeah, it's if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, I wish I did. You want to
and
say
it wasn't
anything about it?
I mean, it was fun. Don't get me wrong.
What's his name?
His name was Cato.
Kato?
Yeah, he was a black. He was
He's
pretty
still
much
around?
a pure black Belgian Malinois. Yeah, no, he's not. He's not around. He passed. So his career wasn't very long lived. The circumstances surrounding that.
Do you not want to talk about that? It seems kind of.
I mean, he. I had him. I had him for. I had him through canine school. I graduated. I had him for a while, and then I woke up one day and he was dead in his kennel. It's about, I don't know, probably April, Mayish, or maybe May, around May of 21. I woke up and he was dead in his kennel. They said that it was heat related, but I would like to have argued different, but it's out of my hands. I can't do anything about it. I wanted an autopsy done on him just to, because I thought there was other factors, but the city, yeah, he's done. He's dead. He's dead. It is what it is. They didn't want to do that. So after that, I went back to patrol, and then I tested again for a dog. I didn't get it, even though I felt I should have. And after that, it was like, yeah, well, maybe it's time to try something different. And my wife's like, hey, here we are. I'm just chilling over here at the school still. Come over. So I was like, all right, whatever, And there was some guys there that I had talked to that were like,
other officers?
yeah, a couple former BPD guys, and they're like, hey, don't knock it till you try it. It's not so bad. It's kind of a hidden gem. So I got all my running and gunning out of me, I was over the chasing bad guys, and
the canine thing probably, it seems
that,
like it struck your heart.
That one kind of hit me a little different, especially the second time around when
you got denied.
I have been told, hey, we're sorry for your loss. Test again, and we'll take care of you.
Do you feel like they think that it was your fault?
Yeah. But I can't change that, and I wanted to run another dog, and I did everything I could too, as far as the testing the second time and stuff like that. So after all that passed, I thought, I'm going to try something different.
You have dogs at home?
Yeah. I've had dogs growing up.
Yeah.
It seems like I've always had one or two dogs.
Yeah, I don't believe you would just leave them in the car.
And it was just a heat, it was one of those things where it's, hey, the weather that day wasn't extremely hot, and
we can move on. I don't know.
But yeah. So that was so I said, you know what, I'm going to go to the schools.
Bro, you ever had one of these? They're really good.
Oh yeah. I was on this for a while. I was into the flavored ones, but all of them. I've tried a bunch of them.
I don't really like the sugar, but I like the it's like it'll slow you down if you're drinking like a lot of beers or something.
Yeah.
You just throw one of these
in the middle.
Anyways, so we just Cato. I think I spelt it wrong, but we're gonna Cato.
Oh yeah, Cato with a K.
Kado.
Kado.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
All right. So you wanted to go into the schools, like that's where we're at right now.
So yeah, at that point I was like, well, I'm not going to get a dog. That's, it is what it is. My wife's like, hey, I'm just going to throw it out there, maybe consider it, talk to a couple of officers there. So I was like, all right. I did that. I talked to him. The retirement's a little bit different, but it isn't the best of the city.
Whenever you were talking to these guys, you you said before you didn't want to be around the kids, like you didn't want to deal with kids, but was that in those conversations, or was it more like the job is great,
yeah,
you just have to deal with the
it was
kids?
in the conversation. I mean, in terms of dealing with them, it was like where you don't deal with them. You're not there. I'm not. Cops aren't in the schools in the business to deal punishment to kids. It's more of a safety factor. I mean, there's these schools are fucking dangerous.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Were you scared? Were you like nervous? Like, dude, like I don't
Because when
know.
you're at a school, you're pretty much the sheriff of a small town. I mean, this is yours. Each school has an officer. You're in charge of the safety of all these students and staff. So, um,
Staff, I never even thought about that. That's
yeah,
crazy.
I mean,
Never went through
kids are
my mind.
wild.
Yeah.
Some kids are wild. I didn't. Now, I mean, I used to think about it when my wife was teaching in the classroom, but now, like, it kind of opens your eyes to like, holy crap, like, you know, you can walk on campus with anything. There's no metal detectors. There's no, there's shit. I mean, you know, we've had a gun every year at my school. I mean, loaded guns.
Yeah.
So,
Do you what do you think is the biggest threat to these what do you think is the biggest problem to these situations where these kids are bringing stuff like guns or knives? Like what's the problem? Is it because they feel threat, or they come through like a shitty life that we like what we did, like what we dealt with? Like what do you
eh,
you're with it with every day. Like you have
probably I mean, I think it's probably everything. You know,
a lack of
I feel like
skateboarding.
one of the kids that had the gun, he pretty much had it for safety. You could tell. I mean, I didn't, because you can't talk to them.
Yeah.
You can't question them in regards to. You can. It's just not admissible. So
But you could
really,
tell
you just
that?
don't talk to the. I mean, but I could tell just on his demeanor that he probably had it just because for safety stuff. Two of them.
Just because his
Two
fam
out of the three. Yeah.
just because of what like their family situation, or where they coming from?
Probably. One was not from here. One was like from Riverside. Just started in Bakersfield. Wasn't here for very long, so he probably had it. He definitely had it on for protection. But I, I mean, I don't know. You want to say it's maybe bad home life, maybe for protection, maybe just to look cool. I don't. I imagine it's a lot of different factors. I
It's
never would have thought. I mean, I did some wild stuff in my day, but I never would have
that's what
thought of bringing a gun to
that's
school.
exactly what I'm saying. Is like you're
And did you
such
ever hear about it? No,
no,
I never heard.
no,
Not
no.
not one
I
time. Like,
remember
hey,
going to Boy Scouts one time, and like being like given like a Swiss Army knife and like carry this wherever you go, and then taking it to school with me one time, and I didn't know any.
oh, there's
I was just in my pocket. I was like, Boy Scouts told me to do it. You guys told me to join Boy Scouts,
right,
like,
yeah,
and so like, I don't. I'm not. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. But like, I'm just so curious because like, you're such an interesting figure because like you have been. I mean, even I have dabbled in weed and pills and this and that, which I knew was bad. I knew was bad, but
yeah,
there is something there's something special where you just didn't have it in you to fall into these holes. But to me, recognizing from the outside perspective that you might recognize those patterns from these kids as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, working at North High is different. You know, Oildale in itself is different. I mean, just even working the East Side as a city cop and growing up in Oildale, they are so similar, but at the same time, just so night and day. Like Oildale is like if you're not from Oildale, you don't understand oil dough. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of these kids, I mean, these kids got some fucked up lives. I think even more so than we know in our time, in terms of growing up and you know home life and what's available to them. So I
Even more so now?
I think I mean,
Do you think
I
it's the
think in a sense,
technology? Like,
I think it's just uh,
just a lack of intimacy? Like,
lack
there's,
of parenting.
yeah.
I mean, you know, I
But
remember
there's
even the parents that even some fucked up parents growing up that I seen growing up, like friends' parents,
still had something
they
there.
still had a little something there. I think it's just over time, like that principle's gone. You know, it kind of goes back to even kids in general. Like kids nowadays are just fucking disrespectful. Like you wouldn't like the stuff I see in the schools. I'm like, man, I was pretty wild in my day, and I wasn't even the wildest. But even the wildest didn't do what like a lot of these kids nowadays do. They don't. Like there was just I feel like the the sense of respect is just not there anymore, you know. It's not. It's just completely gone. Respect for your elders, respect for females. It's just not there. It just doesn't get taught. It doesn't get taught in in the home anymore. It just doesn't.
That's
Ugh.
it's a hard real like reality. I think that
It's
you're exactly right. Yeah.
it's crazy. When I first started in the schools, I remember my first 3 months. I was pretty blown away by how kids talked and interacted with teachers and just an adult in general. I was pretty taken back. I was I almost was like I was like, is this real? Like
I've spoken about this several times. Like me and my mom, we have no civil conversations. When she calls me, it's like we both turn into different people. It's like I can feel like myself turning into a different person,
really
and we just start screaming at each other. And it's like almost whoever gets louder or whatever. And
wins, huh?
yeah, well, it's not even that. It's like you have to do it to get her to shut up enough to listen, because she's going to be like, you're wrong about this, you're wrong about that. But it's like, listen, I've done my research. I know that I'm not wrong. It's like, look, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you come weld this thing then.
Yeah.
Like, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But it's like I have to yell louder than she has to disagree, and whoever wears like, okay, I'm done with this. Okay, you
Yeah.
get to, and then I don't know that that's how it is for everybody, but that's how it is. But there's like other people like I would never talk to some of my friends' moms like that. There ain't no
Right?
way in hell.
Like
But that's yeah. So I don't know what that is like.
I yeah, it's I don't know. I remember sitting in the dean's office, like just starting. Like I've never worked in an office setting. I've never really worked around kids. And I'm in the dean's office at North, and I'm like, it's packed. There's fucking 10 kids in there, and they're just fucking going off the rails. They are just fucking not listening. And when I say not listening is one thing, but I'm talking like fucking
Talking shit back.
fucking cussing the fucking secretary out, cussing the deans out, walking out. I'm like, this is a zoo. This is wild. Like I would have.
How do you deal with something like that?
Oh, I just go to my office until they're breaking the law. I'm like, I don't deal with these kids. No, I try to step in every now and then, but tell them I try to teach these kids because they don't know.
Yeah.
And you get like you look at them and it pisses you off because you're like, I didn't fucking act like that when I was a kid. I had fucking respect, you know. But at the same time, it's like no one's taught them. So like I try to slow down with these kids and like at least the ones maybe you have a chance of reaching out to. Um like you just got to like kind of like try to rebuild them a little bit like hey like
Do you feel
you
a sense of responsibility, like to like
yeah,
do that back to those
I do a
kids?
little bit. I mean, I grew up in Oildale. I spent a lot of time here. I got childhood memories, you know. As bad as it is and as shitty as Oildale is, like Oildale's it's a good place. There's good people here. Um, I could see like some of these kids need structure and if I can like if they want to take the time to like listen to what I have to say, then I'll give them all the time in the world. Like
What
I'll
would if they were listening to this, what would you tell those kids? If they were taking the time to listen to what you have to say and listen through this episode, and you had something to say to those kids that are maybe in our situation when we were kids, like not having nowhere to go, not having nobody to talk to.
Bravo. He stumped me again. Got me. uh, it's never too late. I think. I don't think it's ever too late to do the right thing. You know, and yeah, probably just and probably just fucking be kind. Be kind to your neighbor. You know what I mean? Like, be kind to people around you. You never know what that other person's going through. Um, but I don't know. These kids need guidance. And I feel like me being at the schools now, uh, it's I could try to, there's kids. I mean, I try to do a lot for the kids that want my help, and it's nice when you see that like little switch turn on in them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, almost like that. Oh, I'm
and
listening.
like my first week there, I met this girl that was just fucking losing her mind with like everyone, principal, deans in the middle of the fucking quad. Um, struggled with substance abuse and like fucking hated me when she first met me. And they're like, "Hey, we need your help out here with this girl." And I'm like, "What do you want me to do?" But I went out there anyways. And now, like, she has zero male role model in her life, and I'm not trying to be dad to every girl, um, you know, out there at fucking North High, but to the ones that need a little bit of help, and I help her as much as I can, and she has a shitty fucking home life, um, but you could tell like she just needs a little bit. She needs someone to listen to, and she
Listen to
she's
her.
kind of getting it.
She needs
Yeah, she's
somebody to
gonna be
talk to.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I first met her, she was not in a good spot, and she needs someone to talk to. She needs someone to be like, hey, you know, you can be something in life. You know,
Yeah.
you can do something. Just she needs that self confidence boost. Um, Not being torn down all the time. A lot of these kids, that's what they need.
I think it's a special thing that whenever you recognize that stuff, because like
Yeah.
we see ourselves like in those type of situations, like, man, like if I would have had just somebody
Oh
tell me
man,
keep going,
I know.
my life would be
Or
completely
just steered
different.
me a little in one way.
Yeah.
Uh, like man, I did.
What steers you? Is Do you believe in God? Are you a God?
I'm not a very religious man, but I believe in God for for sure. I know there's God out there. There's, I mean, I don't know if he's got a brown beard and long hair, but
Yeah, I doubt it.
there's a fucking God out there. I know that for sure.
I think it might look like people like you or like us who hear his voice talk to our hearts and tells us to do stuff like what we're doing because you, I'm going to just say, as one of my longest friends that I've ever had, um, I can't ever see you as where you're at. And I'm
Yeah,
really proud and impressed of what you become, man.
I
Really proud of
appreciate
you,
it.
dude.
Thank you.
Really, I can see it in your heart that you care about these kids for some reason, and
Yeah, I've
it's
always had. I mean, I think, and that goes back to my aunt. My aunt had a huge heart. She helped out a lot of my family that didn't deserve it, didn't even maybe need it, but I think she had a huge heart. I think I have a huge heart. I would say maybe too big sometimes. But yeah, I like it. You know, I don't. How I have a good life where I'm at right now. You know, helping these kids, and not it wasn't just, I didn't go full into it like, man, I want to help all the kids and stuff. It's just I more so did it like, my oldest was hitting high school, and I wanted to be close to her in a sense, and
you scared for her.
yeah, yeah.
Why?
I think kids nowadays, they just don't they're just different from the respect aspect to not thinking twice about
Decision.
decision making, and kids are fucking wild,
You said that several times, and what? Let's give us an example. I don't understand.
I mean, I just don't think kids really. I think I don't think they think a whole lot about
Lack of
the
awareness.
decisions that they make and how that affects their future.
That's scary.
You um, my daughter,
Because
my daughter's a good girl, and I don't worry about her. I just worry about her surroundings as she goes through high school. But you got to let them. You got to let them learn. You got to let them go. You got to loosen up the leash a little bit. And
seeing these kids from whenever our age, do you think that social media pushes a lot of their decisions? I
absolutely.
didn't even get to finish the question.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. That's
absolutely.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. Social media is.
It's almost like that's more important than anything else.
I think. I look back. If we had what we have now,
we'd be famous. We'd be millionaires.
I don't. I mean, maybe
for good stuff. For good stuff.
I don't know. Would we for good stuff?
I mean, I was skating at the time.
Yeah, probably.
I wasn't hurting nobody back then. I can see now that it's almost like a good thing to hurt somebody because you might get 1 million followers.
Fuck, yeah, I know. It's all about how many people you can get to watch your video.
And then you end up in prison for 20 years. Like, what's the point?
It's just all around, I worry about her. I worry about her driving. She's going to be driving next year, and I'm like, there's so many fucking idiots on the road. Like, driving is
right lane.
God, driving.
They'll just pull right out in front of you.
The DUI crashes in Bakersfield is wild.
Tell us about it. You know better than anybody.
I don't deal with it much. I mean,
I know you hear the radio.
You can watch the news and see every other crash that's a big one or a fatal is usually.
Do they ever call you out for anything that's not school related?
No.
Are they ever like, hey, we need you there? No, you're just school.
It's crazy. I'm just schools now. I mean, I have all the same powers.
You're the best job ever.
Yeah, it's like
other than all the emotions.
Bell rings and I go home.
You go with all those.
They have no
Oh,
idea.
great.
All the summertime off. It's awesome.
Sam's pissed at
Yeah.
Frank, and I
Yeah.
gotta worry about who's gonna bring the
Yeah.
knife.
Yeah. Might
That's crazy.
have to write a ticket for a marijuana pin once or twice.
Oh man, is that a lot?
Those
That's
are out of
probably happened a
control too.
lot.
Oh my god, those are out of control. Those things.
At school,
Where are they getting them?
I don't, dude. I wish I could tell you. I can't find them.
I feel like
I'm scared of them things.
I'm like, where are these kids getting these things?
I think it's probably their uncles making them make them, and they're like, "Here, you can have one for making it."
I was telling myself the other day, I almost think every kid, like, not every kid, but the majority of them have a family member that maybe works at a shop.
Yeah, I think
don't-
so.
like,
It's, and that's the thing is like, we're in this world where so many people just want to numb their feelings,
Yeah.
and so it's like almost like, hey, don't worry about it, just do this, and don't. Almost because like I don't, is it like a way of saving their kids from dealing? I don't know. It's really weird.
I have no idea.
I hear about. I mean, I'll just say it. She's told me this story several times, but like my mom, even like meth was prevalent in our lives before for like 13. You know what I mean? And alcohol, and it's like when that starts that age, like how do you? What's next? Like you're only going downhill. From
Oh
there, you
yeah,
know?
it's only gonna last for so long, and then you're gonna need
So how do
something
you?
else.
So like people like you who have been able to like, nah, I'm just gonna. How did that's what I'm saying? You have something different.
How did I turn it off?
Yeah.
or not?
What the hell
know.
happened? Because a lot of us
It's affected me in other. I mean, I don't. You know,
we have
I'm
dead
not-
friends from the same.
I'm not. Yeah. I mean, I've been in the dark plenty of times in terms of. I mean, it's affected me probably in one way or the other. You know.
I think in a positive manner for sure.
I mean, there's times where I was drinking a lot in my career in my 30s. You know, my life at the city it wasn't always good. You know.
Was it hard for you to turn off when you went to bed? Like of what you've seen
Oh
throughout the
yeah,
day?
yeah, yeah. You see, I mean,
Would you say you have trauma issues with all those days?
yeah, but it's getting better now that I've changed. I mean, I go to counseling.
Okay.
I do a lot. I mean, I don't do a lot. I was doing a lot. I don't see my counselor. I don't see her now as often as I probably should. But, you know,
Is that
my
important?
wife and I went through marriage counseling, which I'm a firm believer in.
Yeah.
Even if you're not having fucking problems,
Yeah, 100%. I agree with
you
that.
need somebody to talk to. I am full of fucking problems, but even on my best day, you still need somebody to talk to. I don't give a shit who you are. You need an outlet.
100%.
Absolutely. I've been telling friends of mine that want to play tough guy, Tombstone Courage. It's not gonna work.
No.
Not gonna. I don't care who you are. I don't give a shit.
That's why I started this thing. I'll talk into
Just to talk.
nothing. Yeah.
I go to my counselor. I
Yeah.
haven't seen her in a while, but sometimes I go to her. We don't even talk problems. It's just talk.
just get your voice heard.
Just talk. Talk
Yeah.
about life. Like talk about stupid shit. You know, maybe something that you saw the other day that pissed you off or made you laugh, or I don't. You know. Yeah, I went off on a tangent a little bit, but
That's
you know,
fine.
my life at the city, but I had good times, but I definitely being a cop, especially in Bakersfield, takes away a lot, you know. But that's with anything, you know, any job, any profession, you know, it's all you know, you just got to take care of yourself. And whatever that looks like, whatever that, you know.
I have this conflicting feeling because, like, yeah, I'll go to work. I love my job. I'm very thankful to have it. I have no business where I'm at. I'm trash, and I'm building the coolest shit ever. So I'm not complaining at all. But it's like, how can I give back more? You know what I mean? How do I make people feel good about what I'm doing? You know, and
Yeah,
and that's like a a big thing for me. I mean, like you said, like I we can tell our story. We could just keep saying it, but if it's not going to help somebody, then what's the point of speaking
right.
it? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I think that like these little kids who are lashing out like that, they just need some, just like you
yeah,
said, somebody to talk to, somebody to just be like, man, like I feel alone.
yeah,
I feel like I need to prove myself somehow, and they're not taught any other way to other than to hurt somebody else,
yeah,
and that's how they gain that respect, and that's
yeah,
weird to us because like if we talk like if we go back to like the beginning of the episode, it was about having who's going to build the baddest truck,
uh-huh,
and then you go to
yeah,
the mall, and then who's got, oh, I this is what I did this weekend.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like now it's on social media. Like I shot at that guy.
yeah.
It's
I shot someone, you know, and took someone's life, or did X, Y, and Z. You know,
caused
it's
some sort of trauma.
yeah, and it's funny that you'll like sometimes there's kids at school that I'm like, I'll just give them 5 minutes of my time, and you can see the behavior change.
Yeah,
Like you could see like just the switch of just listening to them. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. It's 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 something that it's hard to explain unless you're in the moment. But you know, I guess that's my way of giving back a little bit. And I mean, I wouldn't. As soon as I knew I was getting North High, I was like, all right, this is meant to be.
it's wild.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like I got
crazy.
arrested. I got taken to juvenile. I got put in handcuffs and taken to juvenile hall in the dean's office at North High. And now I'm like kind of doing the same. I was like
What for?
fighting. I went to Centennial and punched a kid, beat a kid up. I fractured, like, I don't know, fractured his orbital socket or some crap. So
Oh, you got him good, huh?
they came and arrested me the next day. Yeah, it wasn't. It was over some stupid shit. I don't even
Some
think it.
girl.
No, I think a buddy of mine got in a fight the day before, and maybe someone tried to jump in. I didn't see that, but that was word of mouth. So they were just like, "Hey, there's that guy that tried to jump in," and so what do? You know, trying to be cool, look for attention. You know, I found it.
All right, Josh. I think we're getting to the end of part one. I want you to talk to the people who are going to listen to this, which I think this is going to blow up. You're going to have a lot of your students, a lot of people who are looking up to you. I look up to you. I'm very thankful for your time. Um,
Appreciate you having me.
let's let's hear something positive that you have for somebody who might be in a situation that you've been in, and you wish you had somebody to tell you what you're about to say. No pressure.
No pressure. Yeah, no pressure. I don't know. I think what I tell myself a lot is that no matter how bad it is, no matter how worse or what you have going on in your life, that someone always has it a little bit worse. And the worst thing going on in your life right now really isn't the worst thing. It gets better.
I agree with that. Later, guys.